What's up? I'm Harbor from Extra Credit Design Club, and today we are going to talk about where to sell digital design goods in 2023. Before we get into it, in case you're unfamiliar with the term digital design good, it is basically any digital product that someone might use in design. So if it's a font, if it's a template, if it's a mock-up, illustration pack, an animation, a texture, what have you, if it's a digital product that's used for design, I'm calling that a digital design good. I started selling digital design goods in 2021, so I have 2 years of experience selling on different marketplaces, and in this video, I want to hit you with my top 5 choices for the best places to sell digital design goods in 2023. I'm going to show you the pros and cons of each platform, and then I'm going to show you how much I made selling on each platform in 2022 and how I think that's going to move forward in 2023. Let's get into it with my number 5 choice. I'm talking about number 5, MonoType. MonoType is number 5 on the list, the bottom one, because while I mentioned all digital design goods, it's only a platform for fonts, and it's the platform that I made the least amount out of the top 5 in. So let me show you MonoType. Right here we have our earnings. Oh, so far, February 1st, I earned $5. And you can sort by going back months and months. Unfortunately, you cannot see just last year's earnings all on MonoType. But I have here for you a little deck I put together where you can see on MonoType, 2022 earnings, I earned $1,925. Now, I had only 7 products on the platform, so on average, each product brought in $275. And just for your information, the commission split is 50-50. So whenever I sell a product, MonoType takes 50% of it, I get 50% of it. Let's talk about the size of the platform. MonoType is very big, and they own a couple different places where people can buy fonts, so the size of the platform is fairly large. Next, the value. This is how much orders usually are. So maybe an order is $5, maybe an order is $500. On this scale, MonoType is on the higher end, meaning that people are willing to pay more money for your products. You're able to create products that cost more money and still make sales. And then finally, I have the last measurement is the taste. So this kind of ranges from like outdated, kind of passe, maybe like script, mommy blogger type of vibe here on the left, and then really contemporary, high quality, really tasteful fonts here on the right. And MonoType ranks slightly less than average only because there are a lot of things that are kind of past trend, and there's just a lot of mediocrity that you have to wade through if you're looking for awesome fonts. That is MonoType at a glance. Now let's talk about some pros and cons. This might sway you to decide like, oh, should I sell on this platform? Maybe this platform isn't for me. So the first thing is the purchase options is a pro. They have awesome options for customers looking to purchase your fonts. They can purchase individual weights, widths, they can purchase families together, they can purchase all kinds of different licensing. The purchase options is a really good thing. Next is the promotions panel. So within the platform, at any time, you can choose to promote your products with discounts, and that's somewhat unique. Other third-party sites run discounts at set times that you can participate in or not. However, MonoType lets you choose when you run discounts and how much those discounts are for in a promotions panel. Moving on, we have a higher order value that we talked about, an extremely large audience that we talked about, and then they have a strict acceptance policy. So out of any of the platforms I sell on, you have to check the certain boxes, and they have the most strict guidelines for products that you can upload, which is a pro because a lot of the crappy products don't make it to the platform. So there's less crap to wade through for the users looking to buy your fonts. And the cons are the user interface. On my end as a seller, it's a bit wonky, something to be desired, it leaves. And there's limited analytics, meaning I can't see my average order value. I can't see my conversion rate. I can't see how many people visit my store. So when I'm trying to improve, it just is guesswork. I can't make those educated improvements about, oh, my average order value's down, let me change X, Y, and Z. So if you're into analytics and changing and maybe this isn't the greatest platform for you. And then also a con is the strict acceptance. Possibly, if you're looking to do really kind of like bottom of the market, go wide, super accessible fonts in the terms of like anybody can afford them, they're easy to make, easy to produce, this is not going to be the platform for you. All right, moving on to number 2, we have Etsy. So Etsy, you all know it, but maybe you didn't know that you can also sell digital products on Etsy. So for my shop, you can see here my analytics for my stats for last year, being 2022. I had, views, visits, almost 500 orders, and my revenue was $3,584 for 2022. Again, the earnings, $3,584. I had 25 products. Each product, on average, earned $143. So that's a lot less on average earning per product. However, a pro is the commission is 100%, meaning if I make a sale for $6, I make $6 minus a 20-cent listing fee. So every time I sell something, I have to pay Etsy 20 cents. But that's no big deal. I get 100% of the sale. The size of Etsy, moving down, is massive. So many people shop at Etsy, which could be a good or a bad thing. You could get lost in the noise, but you do have such a large potential. Next, the value. I cannot sell a font on Etsy for more than about $6. People just aren't willing to pay more than that for fonts on Etsy. And then the taste level, it's definitely behind trend. It's a lot of script fonts, a lot of cutesy stuff, a lot of people looking to buy a swirly font for their embroidery machine. So the pros of Etsy, one thing is Etsy ads. It's super easy to set up ads within the Etsy platform and run traffic or guide traffic to your site. So even if you have no audience whatsoever to start off with, you can pay for Etsy ads and get people coming to your store. Another pro is the high commission. We talked about that. There's a unique audience. The person that buys a font from Etsy is not going to buy a font from any other platform. Moving on, we have reviews. So Etsy makes it super easy for customers to leave reviews, and they do quite often, giving you a little bit of social proof. So if you're confident in your product that's going to get good reviews, Etsy's a great place. And then finally, it's super easy to set up an Etsy shop. You don't need, some grand approval process. You can upload basically any digital product. There's not a strict acceptance or rejection. You just upload what you want, and you can have that kind of bottom of the market, bare bones fonts for $6 that you can make in a week and upload, and people know they're just paying $6 for them. If that sounds like something that interests you, just being able to do just a wide spread of fonts that are bare bones type of things, then Etsy could be the platform for you. Right. Some of the cons of Etsy is that there are weak filters. It's very difficult to find and filter digital products especially. And then there's no promotion on Etsy's end. Etsy's kind of about the physical product, the homemaker stuff. When they're running ads online, when they're doing their ad campaigns out of house, they are not going to highlight digital goods. And then finally, the low order value is obviously a con. It's very difficult to get people to pay more than $5, $6 per product. All right, moving on to the next platform, I'm talking about Envato, specifically Enato Elements. Envato is a platform that's somewhat unique in that they have a marketplace where you can buy individual goods called Envato Market. And they also have Enato Elements, which is a subscription service. So practically, what does that look like? This being my number 3 choice, you can see that the earnings shoot way up. January 1st, 2017, that's a glitch because it's really January 1st, 2022. So January 1st to December 31st, 2022, total earnings before taxes were $9,021. Quite a significant jump in earnings. All right, Enato Elements breakdown page, Total earnings, $9,021 with 31 products on the platform, averaging out to each product making about $291 in a year. The commission, I put not applicable because mainly I'm earning from Enato Elements. So people don't download my individual fonts and pay per font. They have a subscription to Enato Elements that they pay $300 some odd a year, and every time someone downloads one of my fonts for free on their end, Enato Elements gives me a small percentage of the user's subscription fees. Size, it's slightly below an average size, right? It's not as big an audience as Etsy, not as big an audience as MonoType. Value, it's slightly less, right? You're not making these big ticket sales for $100, $200 for your really premium products. You're just getting, your products downloaded and a couple bucks kicked to you whenever they're downloaded. Taste, it's slightly behind trend. There's a lot of kind of mediocre stuff, not as bad as Etsy, but you have to sift through stuff to find the good stuff, which could be an advantage if you have really contemporary stuff. It's not too contemporary. It'll still resonate with the audience, but it's not, 3 or 4 years past trend. Then this might be a good platform for you taste-wise. Moving on to pros and cons. First, the pros, there is a wide range of products. So everything from plugins, fonts, motion graphics, they do it all on Enato Elements. Moving on from there, the trends and insights on Enato Elements are really, really valuable tools. So as a seller of digital goods, there's a place on Enato Elements where I can look to see, oh, this topic is trending, and there's not very many products that fit this topic. So there's a great opportunity for you here as a seller. It's a really good way on Enato Elements to get to know what things are trending and where the supply and demand is for each digital product trend. Moving forward, there is a great affiliate program. So the affiliate marketers, meaning the people that will, on their own accord, just market your products because they'll get a small percentage of the sale, is great. So without me having to do any marketing, the affiliate marketers are doing a lot of that for me. So that's a good thing about Enato Elements. Like Etsy, Enato Elements has a unique audience. These are the type of people that don't want to pay for each product they download. They just want to pay a flat fee each year and have access to a zillion digital design goods. So that's a different person that would regularly buy on MonoType or Etsy. So it's a unique audience. Finally, one thing that I think is a pro, but you may think is a con, is Enato Element is a bit slow to the trends. So if something is trending on another platform, I can tell, oh, it's not going to reach Enato Elements for another 6 months or a year. So I'll be able to, see the trends as it's happening, see the writing on the wall, and be able to make products, put them on Enato Elements, and be the first one to hop on a new trend. Cons for selling on Enato Elements is there are no large ticket sales, right? So somebody downloads your thing, you're going to get kicked a couple bucks. You're not going to make the $200-300 sales that you can make on other platforms. And finally, the con that is tough is it's just difficult to set up. They have a place on their website where you can sign up to, be a seller, but it's somewhat glitchy and you can get lost. They say they'll email you, but then they really didn't email me, so I had to email them, hey, I applied, where's the response? And there's a little bit of back and forth between myself and the staff at Enato Elements. So thankfully, they were very helpful, very awesome, the staff, but it just is not an automated process. I had to reach out because there was a glitch on their end. But once I did reach out, they were very easy to work with. Just be aware that if something isn't working, you might need to reach out to them personally to set up a shop. All right, moving on to my number 2 choice for the best place to sell digital design goods in 2023. I'm talking about You Work For Them. So this is what the platform looks like right here. A lot of really high quality design goods. And if I go to my back end here, you can see that the previous year, so that's 2022, I made $10,005.01. I had 30 products on the platform, and each one, on average, earned me about $333 per product. You Work For Them takes a 50% commission, so every time I make a sale, they get half, I get half. The size is small. It's the smallest audience size of the platforms that I sell on, which could be a good thing. It's easier to stand out from the crowd, but then, it's just not as a massive pool to draw from. The value is above average on the other platforms that I sell with. People are willing to buy fonts that cost, $60 or more. And there are even times when the staff at You Work For Them will work with large companies, and they'll figure out a deal for broadcasting licenses, or companies with thousands of employees, hundreds of employees that are going to get a lot more value from a font, and they'll be able to broker deals. So in 2022, a large part of this earning $10,000 was the You Work For Them staff brokering a deal with ESPN for a broadcasting license of one of my fonts that I ended up earning 50% of the commission for, which turned out to be around $4,500. So, You Work For Them is a great platform in that they really look out for their designers. Large companies do go to them to consult about fonts, and you are able to earn, larger tickets for broadcasting licenses and things like that. And then finally, the taste level. It's, out of any platform that I sell on, the most elevated taste. The most contemporary audience is going to buy fonts on You Work For Them. Let's talk about some of the pros. So the pros is that the filters and categories on You Work For Them is awesome. It's super easy for users to find exactly what they're looking for, and for sellers to know, like, oh, my product fits exactly this category. So it just is super easy for people to find your specific font. It's less likely to get lost in the noise because there are such specific filters. Next is a hand-picked section. So if your product is really something that talks to the staff at You Work For Them, they'll choose your product to be highlighted in a hand-picked section. And, it just is nice to get that little bit of promotion from You Work For Them. Moving forward, as I discussed, there is massive potential for large ticket sales. For big companies that are looking for international broadcasting licenses or other licenses that are a lot more expensive for buying fonts. Now finally, it's a small audience. It's something that I really like about the platform because I don't get lost in a bunch of noise, right? I'm making quality products, and because there are so few other quality products, relatively, it's easier to stand out from the crowd and not get lost. Some cons of the platform is poor analytics. Similar to MonoType, there's not a lot that I can look at and analyze and say, oh, this stat is down, so let me shift in this way intelligently. It's a lot of just guesswork, what's going to work and what's not going to work. And a con, maybe to you, would be the small audience. So the potential reach is not as large as something like MonoType, where if your font goes viral on MonoType, you're buying a castle. If your font goes viral on You Work For Them, you're just going to pay rent in New York City, Before I move on to my number one recommendation for where to sell digital design goods in 2023, I'm about to hit you with some honorable mentions. The first one are bundle sites such as Pixel Surplus and Mr. Mockup. Let me hit you with what those look like. Here we have Mr. Mockup. We got a bunch of bundle deals. And here we have Pixel Surplus. Again, a bunch of bundle deals. So why these are only an honorable mention is because you can't just make one product and put it on these sites. You have to have enough products to make a bundle and enough products in the same or similar categories that they make sense as a bundle. But that being said, in 2022, on Pixel Surplus and Mr. Mockup, I was able to make $4,184. The next honorable mention, I'm talking about my personal website, thattype.com. Now, it's just an honorable mention because it's difficult to set up your own personal website, and it's difficult to direct traffic to your own personal website. On these other third-party platforms that I'm talking about, They do all of the marketing for you. They send out the emails to their customers. They promote your products. However, on your own personal website, you're going to need a way that you come up with to drive traffic to your website. Whether that's an email list, whether it's a social media following, what have you. Here's my personal website, thattype.com. If you're ever going to buy fonts from me, please buy them from my personal website. And you can see here, revenue for 2022, I earned $4,339. I only sold on my platform for about 7 months in 2022, and that's because it took me about a year and a half to get to a point where I had a large enough audience that I felt like I could drive people to my website and they would actually buy from me. We're almost to the end. Next, number one choice, where I would say you should sell digital design goods in 2023, do a little drum roll on your desk, in your mind, what have you. I'm talking about Creative Market. You know it, you love it. Or maybe you don't. Either way, I love it and know it. And I'm going to tell you why. So here's Creative Market. And on my end here, from January 1st, 2022 to December 31st, 2022, I was able to earn $23,981. It's about a 50% commission. So in sales, I did close to $50,000, but I took home about $24,000. So the overview of Creative Market, you can see here, $23,000 earned. I had 47 products on Creative Market. It's definitely where I put most of my time and attention, and each product on average earned about $510. And then commission, generally it's 50%. 50% goes to Creative Market, 50% goes to me. However, they are doing a thing where within the first 30 days of your product being on the platform, you can earn a higher commission, up to 85%, sometimes up to 100% if you're part of their affiliate program. Moving on to the size, it's somewhat large, so if your product goes viral on Creative Market, you're going to be sitting pretty. The value is average. People aren't going to spend big bucks. It's going to be difficult to sell something over $60 on Creative Market, and around $15 to $20 is really where you want to be. Maybe $30 if you're selling a bundle. And then finally, the taste is a really good even ground, right? There's stuff that's kind of meh, there's stuff that's kind of cool, but there's a lot that's kind of in the middle, and it's a good barometer for trends in other marketplaces, as it's kind of middle of the road. Some of the pros of Creative Market are email marketing. So they do a really good job, Creative Market, of sending out emails to their audience about what's new, what's trending, what the staff likes, what's selling well, all those type of things. I think every day I get an email from Creative Market with maybe, 20 different products highlighted. So there's a good opportunity for you as a creator. If you're consistently putting out quality products, chances are you are going to be featured on those emails. Next is the categories and filters. So Creative Market has a really good system for filtering digital products, so people don't have to sort through a lot of noise to find what they're looking for. Next, it's a really good gauge for the industry, as I mentioned earlier. The taste is kind of in the middle, the audience size is about in the middle, people spend about an average amount, so it's a really good gauge for what's happening in the digital design good industry. Another pro is that 85% commission. If you have a way to drive traffic to Creative Market early on in your product's life, within the first 30 days, you're going to earn a higher commission. Moving forward, we have rich analytics. They spell out everything for you. Conversion rate, average order value, where the traffic is coming from. They have a really good system for showing you what's working and what's not working for you as a seller so that you can make smart choices. And then finally, the setup for a Creative Market shop is fairly straightforward, pretty easy. You have a portfolio review where you submit a bunch of different products that you're wanting to sell, and then you'll be approved or denied to open a shop. On the other hand, if you are part of Dribbble and you pay for a premium membership at Dribbble, you can automatically open up a shop at Creative Market and bypass that review process. So the cons is it's a lower average order value. Like I said, it's very difficult to sell a product that's more than $20, $30 on Creative Market. The purchase options are also somewhat limited. On other platforms, when you check out, it'll offer you, hey, do you want to upgrade your license or add in this extra product? And that boosts your average order value on other platforms. On Creative Market, they don't do any of that. They don't offer discounts for multiple licenses. You cannot select the multiple licenses for one product. It gets a little bit tricky, so somewhat limited purchasing options. Another con is right now in 2023, early 2023, there's a bit of a scramble. Creative Market's making a lot of changes all at once, and it's very difficult to just figure out what works on Creative Market because so much is changing about the platforms. How they do their marketing, how they do their free goods, how they do their categories and filters. It's difficult to just get a gauge on it and find something that works because they are changing it so often. Hopefully that clears up by the end of 2023, but for now, that's where it's at. Alright, so there you have it, my top 5 suggestions with a few honorable mentions about where to sell in 2023. So this is something that I wish I had when I first started selling digital design goods. I wanted to know, where is worth my time and energy to put these digital design goods? And what can I expect from each platform? If I'm more contemporary, where should I sell? If I'm more behind trend, where should I sell? If I'm trend focused, where should I sell? If I have higher ticket items, where should I sell? If I have low ticket items, where should I sell? Hopefully, this guide will help you figure out which platform you will have the most success on. And in the spirit of transparency, hopefully you are able to see how much potentially you could earn from each platform and how many products it would take to make these earnings. Obviously, I'm not saying that you're going to make as much money as I make. Hopefully you make more. You might make less. I'm just showing you from my personal experience where I was at in 2022 selling digital products. It was my second year selling digital products, and those were the earnings. You were able to see how many products I uploaded on each site and on average what they earned me. It's been a change in my life for the better, being able to make passive income as a graphic designer. So that's it. I'm Harbor from Extra Credit Design Club, and as always, if you want to learn more about selling digital design goods, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you want to hear about, because I'm here just to help you. So that's it. That's all. I'll catch you in the next one. Later.